So you guys want to get into Hell's Paradise?
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
All right. So guys, we got Hell's Paradise episode 7, Flowers and Offering. As the team surveys the village from afar, they stumble across an unlikely pair who teaches them about the Paradise Island. Keeping his eyes on the prize, Gabimaru asks very pointed questions about the elixir of life and rediscovers his purpose for being there. So, it picked up right where it left off. Um, the episode opens up and the two, I guess Hermits, which is what we're gonna call them from right now, the Tensin, are kissing. But
Yeah.
then they do something very, very unexpected, and they morph into men. Um, that took me by surprise. Made everything a little less sexy to me. But
Well, before that, the pink-haired Tensin was like, "Hey, you guys want to join?" And I was like, "Yo!"
Oh yeah, that is right.
Yo!
And the blonde wasn't having it. She was like, "You ruined the mood. How could you? You're gonna die now." So,
Yeah, and we kind of learn that they're kind of like the big bosses on the island. So what happens while we're going back to Gabimaru and gang? There's a what do they call him? A bonsai monster rolls up on them as
Groot,
they're
dude.
Big Groot, as they're trying to chase the little child in the forest there down. And Gabimaru leaves the rest of the group behind. I guess really just Yuzu, Ria, and Senta, and they go chase after the girl. Yuzuria uses her magic, and we got a lot of screenshots and videos of this on Twitter.
Yeah.
Dan was saying it was sweat pre-show. Tyler, what did that look like to you, my guy?
Hey man, I don't know if y'all use Twitter, but if y'all did, y'all seen this shit. And this shit ain't sweat, bro. I don't know.
Some kind of goop.
I really
It's
don't know how the hell. I don't know how Mappa animated this, and then watched it. It was like, oh, bet this looks like a good idea. This is a very good scene. Let's push this out.
Dude, they're trying to kill it with the fan service. They've been stepping it up, especially in this episode. They were doing a whole lot. But they're getting their Twitter moments. I think that's a good way to get your show out a little bit more, because I know some people are going to be like wondering what's going on in this anime and probably watch it. So good marketing. Good marketing.
To be fair, to be honest, I also seen the manga panel, and the manga panel, I mean, they do adapt the manga panel very close. It actually looks like that in the manga panel as well. So I guess
more power to them.
Props to Mappa for not steering away and making it actually look like sweat. I mean, it's called bodily fluids. I don't know what that pertains to, but it definitely looks like some bodily fluids. So just not sweat.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed we didn't get to see Yuzuriha actually use her powers. We just saw her power up, I guess is what we're gonna call that. But she ends up beating the dog shit out of that bonsai monster, old Groot. Hoko is his actual name. And they're trying to get information out of him, and he's like, "I will help you. Just bring me the girl, like that. That she's important to me." And they didn't actually believe them at first, but it seemed like they were a pretty tight pair after we got into the episode a little bit more, which I thought this was one of the better episodes. It wasn't super heavy on fighting, but we got to learn a lot about the Paradise Island, which was really, really, really cool.
Well, I mean, at first I thought the ant was the bonsai was attacking the little girl as well. So kind of caught me by surprise when we found out that they was actually like together. He was raising her, I guess you can say. I don't know what their relationship is.
Yeah, I kind of saw him as like a protector of her. I think there's like different levels of all the monsters that are on the island. Like they kind of went into a few of them, but I think he's probably somewhere between the giant fish monster with the 18 arms and the Tensin. So it's actually really interesting because in the religion of Taoism, there's actually different tiers of the Jian, which is essentially the Tencent in this. So I think it's really interesting that they're bringing all of that religion into this and kind of twisting it their own way.
Yeah, I think a surprising amount of anime do that. I don't think a lot of people are aware of how um, tied in Naruto is into Japanese mythology. A lot of the moves, even the character names, are mythological creatures and gods, um, like Susanoo. You have Amaterasu, all kinds of things. Of course, they tie it to the Uchiha because mad Uchiha love, right? But it's cool to see that in another anime. I don't know what others do it, but this
I
this
mean,
one's
I
relying
think a lot of
heavily
them
on
do.
it. Yeah,
yeah, I mean, Dragon Ball Z is basically a retelling of the story of Son Goku,
true.
which is literally a
Facts.
Chinese I don't want to call it a fairy tale, but mythology. It's just nice to see a different religion, I guess, used
Yeah,
with Taoism, Buddhism, and all that getting pulled into it instead of just rehashing the same stuff we've seen over and over again from Japanese mythology.
true. Yeah, I guess this is more like religion than mythology, but it's cool to see that kind of thing referenced. And you get to learn a little bit more about it as you watch these kind of shows. You know. So yeah, we Hoko and May ended up, taking them to their village and their home in that village that's been run down and kind of destroyed. It looked like. Um, well, Hoko is actually giving up a lot of information. He tells them about the Tensin, saying that they're the strongest on the island. They're kind of like the overall protectors, and they're undying, which we see. And they're pretty much all powerful on the island. They can morph into different beings. They're immortal, pretty much. And we actually saw. Chubi and Toma try to fight one to no avail. Um,
Yeah, I mean, they
ch-
sliced the dude in half
and he just regened.
with some crazy ass plant magic, dude. It was nuts.
Yeah. And I mean, they end up getting wiped. Low
I'm
diff.
I'm pretty sure they dead. Um.
I don't think they're dead, dude. They woke up in the pit, so I don't know.
They
Oh,
gonna
that's
be
right.
dead.
Okay, but they fixing to be dead.
I
I
don't know,
forgot
man.
about
I feel
that.
like they're
I
not going
already
to
wrote
kill him
them
off
all.
just yet. I don't feel like they're going to kill him off just yet.
We did get a lot of backstory for them to get killed that quickly.
I
Yeah.
think, yeah, I think that it probably takes a little while for the plants or whatever to overtake them in the pit. Uh, uh, they had a name for that too. Do y'all recall what that was? Uh, the pit or whatever.
I
It was
don't,
like
but I'm
some
just
kind
gonna
of
go
crazy
flower
name.
pit. I'm just gonna go flower
I
pit. I
don't
have no
remember.
idea.
Yeah.
But basically, Homa? Is that the Groot's name?
Hoko.
Hoka.
Okay.
Hoko.
Yeah.
So
Hoko.
Hoko kind of goes into it down the line too, getting more into the island. And basically, they start talking about the elixir of life. And the way that the elixir is made is basically from people turning into plants and it feeds off that energy. And that's how they create it. So I think it's really interesting that, like, you look at this pit and there are like hundreds of people who have
Yes.
been turned into plants in it. And the vines start crawling at Chobe and Toma. But I think they're going to get out of there, man. I think they are. They're too good of a character just to kill off that fast.
Yeah, I think Chobe is gonna like once he wakes up. I mean, we've seen Toma talk about how adaptable he is to his surroundings. That's how he survive and become strong. I think he's gonna figure out a way to get Toma out of the situation because he seems to be kind of like I guess, like he's the little brother and like the follower of the two. So him waking up will be critical if they're going to survive. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, Toma just has to keep the vines off. I mean, what she's doing it right now, but who knows?
True. And another thing, Hoko actually confirms that this island is paradise or Shinsenkyo. Shin, yeah, you do it, Dan. Not this episode. Not this
Shinzen
episode.
Shinsenkyo.
There we go.
Thank you. Yeah, you
Yeah,
did. You
something
guys
like
got it.
that. Cool. Bet. All right, I made it through another episode. Um, I almost went round two with this from last week. And we also get the actual name for the elixir of life, which is Tan. So we don't have to say
Okay.
elixir of life. We get to shorten that down to one syllable, boys. We made it.
I did Google
Um,
it because I was curious to see if Tan was what they called it in Taoism, because the elixir of life, the hermits, this is all straight from the religion. And I couldn't find anything saying that they did that. So I thought it was interesting that they gave it a new name.
Okay.
Very interesting. I might have said this before on this podcast, but this is another did you know fun fact here. Um, so back in the 1800s when or 1700s or 1600s, whatever it was. While the Chinese emperor was looking for the elixir of life and trying to make it himself, he's trying to make Tan. Um, that's how they made gunpowder. And I find it so fucking ironic that they were looking for the elixir of life and they pretty much found the key to death.
Yeah, GG's to that, I
Yeah.
guess.
So I just had to say that. I wanted to, add a little education to the episode like I like to do.
Oh, definitely, man. It's crazy too because there were a lot of Taoist monks who lived in the mountains who were trying to create the elixir of life. They were considered alchemists.
Yes.
So like it's really cool that they're bringing all of this into the show.
But yeah, so we get around and the team wants to, they have a bath. Hoko and May do the little girl, and they let Yuzuriha and Sagiri actually take some baths, and that kind of unfocuses those two a little bit. They become really relaxed, and they kind of get to wasting a little bit of time. And we kind of see a turn from Gabimaru um, as he's trying to get a bath in, and through his relaxation, he actually remembers why he's here. I think he had gotten a little soft. We had seen a lot of character growth out of him. Do you guys think he's going to go back to his old ways after kind of rediscovering why he's there and not wanting to waste any more time?
I don't think necessarily go back to his ways. I think this show is a lot about him finding balance between his killer instinct and the softer side of him that he's gaining from, spending time with his wife. So I think it'll be really interesting to see how he continues to find balance. And I mean, there were a lot of symbols for yin and yang in this episode throughout the village. And it's kind of, making me think that we're finding his yin and his yang and his balance. So I think it's really interesting to look at it that way.
Yeah, and the thing is like in order to overcome the difficult obstacles that's gonna come soon with like the Tencent and even his clan is coming, he's gonna have to kind of go back to his old ways in order to have a chance at that. But the whole key is if he's able to come back from it. So
very true. Gabimara was a little bit suspect of Hoko, and I was too throughout this entire episode. Do you guys think he's actually telling the truth about everything? He told them that there are 3 rings to the island. The outside ring, the outside ring is like the beach, and then you have the forest with all the monsters in it. And then at the center of the island, he says that that's where Tan is. I believe that, but do you think he's telling the complete and total truth about everything?
I think he is, because the way I looked at it is he just wants to live alone and protect Mai. So I don't think he's trying to steer them wrong. I think he's just trying to get them the fuck out of his house.
yeah,
that's fair. And he thinks the Tencent can take care of them anyway.
Yeah, he ain't worried about it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Is that what's the point of not telling them the truth? Because he thinks that they're gonna die. You know what they always say: dead men tell no tales. So
very true. That's a good point. He does say like, yeah, this is y'all's final wish, so I'll grant it to you.
Yeah. So he's like, if y'all want to be stupid enough and hurry on about y'all's deaths, here you go.
I'll leave
it's coming sooner or later, but here you go. Run straight towards it.
Yeah, and speaking of Hoko too, he did kind of give him a warning that the Tencent don't allow any humans to leave. Period. Like they're dead in Hoko's mind, based on everything that's ever happened on this island. So do you guys think that like this team of ragtag like assassins, ninjas, and executioners gonna be able to do anything to them, or do you think they're kind of fucked?
I think we have like Naruto Fourth Great Shinobi War situation on our hands where you can't really kill the people that you're fighting, but maybe Gabimaru knows some kind of sealing techniques that he can take care of them with, because I think they made it very, very evident by letting one of them get chopped in half, one of the Tencent get chopped in half, that they cannot kill them. And they're not going to care about his story about getting back to his wife. So I don't think they're going to be able to reason with them. I think he's just going to have to seal them or immobilize them in some way.
I'm starting to wonder if Gabimaru's clan, who is on its way, is going to play a big part in the Tencent defeat. So
that is very possible, or at least a distraction if there's no way that if they don't have like any sealing ninjutsu.
Because if these are even like a fraction of what Gabimaru is, and obviously they're going to be a threat to the Tencent as well. and maybe Gabimaru kind of reroutes their aggression towards the Tenzin instead somehow, and uses them to help. And they got to have a weakness. We just don't know it yet.
Yeah, one thing that I was thinking is that since they're basically made of plants, is the ascetic blaze in jutsu that he has, is that kind of the trump card, you know? I mean, that's kind of an ass pull, but you got to remember that Gabimaru's mentor, the old village leader from his clan, he's got the elixir of life. Like, he's been here and found it.
Right.
So he's made it out, and you wonder that since he taught Gabimaru everything he knows, maybe that's the key. I don't know, but that'd be kind of an ass pull, but I think maybe he takes it to the next level or something and it works on him.
Yeah, I mean, hard to regenerate when there's nothing left.
Yeah.
I just wonder, like, how many Tenzin there actually is, you know, on this island.
In Taoism, there are 8 hermits, so maybe there's 8 of them.
We only see 2.
Gotcha. Very likely, honestly, how well they've been following it. Dan, you brought something to my attention last episode. This is supposed to be part of like the dark big 3 for Mappa, right? Now that I know that, I'm kind of judging this anime a little bit differently. I came into it with no expectations, not knowing that. Does that make you think differently about this, that it has to stand up to JJK and Chainsaw Man?
Kind of. I mean, in the sense of dark, I think they're doing a really good job with the violence,
for sure,
the bloodshed, and the gruesomeness of it. And it's tough to compare it to JJK because, I mean, it's only 7 episodes in, and you know, Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen really picked up in the last like 4 to 5 episodes of their season. So I'm thinking like there's still room for this to get up to that level. I don't know if it's there yet, but I think there's still room for it too. And I think we're starting to get towards the climax of the season and a really big fight.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Like once I learned that, I was like, yeah, it's just kind of like the little one out of the big 3 right now. But we haven't seen the whole season.
Yeah. I don't. Me myself, I don't think it's up there with them. You know, Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man, like they're like high 8s and 9s for me.
Straight gas. Yep.
And this right now is like a 7 range. In order for it to like get up there with them, it's gonna have to do a lot more. But I mean, it's definitely dark. And it has hella potential, like Dan said. It's just not the same category for me yet, though.
Yes, it's definitely a sleeper, and I don't think this was promoted as well or as much as JJK and CSM were. You know, I wonder why that is.
I think it's just it was a lesser known manga.
Yeah.
Okay.
At that front, but I mean, it is cut from the same cloth. And one thing I like about this more than like Chainsaw Man is just all the culture and the history they're bringing into it. Because Chainsaw Man is really linear. The fight scenes are awesome, but it's kind of like, okay, Denji loves titties, great. But there's so much more backstory to the characters in this, and I think I enjoyed that part of anime more than just crazy fight scenes. You know, I mean, I'm all for the boxing, but I do need something else. And Chainsaw Man, while it does have its highlights in that point, I don't think it's up to the same caliber as this when it comes to the storytelling. So that's just my opinion on it.
Yeah, I mean, Hell's Paradise definitely like got ahead of them in storytelling, but I think that Chainsaw Man is just like it's a slower paced, I guess, story overall. You know, the plot is more slower paced, not necessarily like this. We know what the thing is. They go into the island, they get the elixir, and that's what it's about. Well, the Chainsaw Man is about, you know, defeating the gun devil, you know,
boobs
that we know, and boobs, you know. So,
and boobs.
Man, you know, he knows what his priorities are. So
I mean, you guys know that I love the storytelling aspect of anime. I mean, One Piece does it better than anybody, and I'm not saying this is One Piece by any means, but I think they're doing a better job of fleshing out a story than Chainsaw Man does. I mean, they're both very early. I think Chainsaw Man was 12 episodes. We're on episode 7 of this. They're both very early into it. But this is definitely going to go more than one season. And I think we'll have to see where it gets to for episode 12 or 13, whenever the season ends, to really make that.
Oh yeah, because these next 4 or 5 episodes could be just straight ungodly amounts of gas. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up since I learned that last week.
I think I said it the first time we watched it, but
I wasn't listening, I guess.
Ouch.
So let's get to it, boys.